Hey yo, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh, B'Hashem, B'Hashem, and double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone who rule well. Yeah, so bros from the GMS London camp, basically just going to be going into like the situation in the Middle East, man, and you know, how prophecies being fulfilled, and more or less how, you know, there's still a few more prophecies that need to go out, man, that, you know, then we're out here, man. But you can see, hey, we're in that time where shit's speeding up. The Lord basically had Trump get in the office, and you know, since this guy's come in office, he ain't really been playing around. He's the perfect kind of clown to basically use to blow up this whole situation in the Middle East and to blow up a few things, man. So you know, it's you can see prophecies moving. It's beautiful. So that's what, you know. That's why I go on. What were you going to grab?
Just a quick present.
Okay, go on.
This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
There you
go. You know, so World War III is coming soon, man. World War II's already been passed, and we're in that time of World War III, and it's been gearing up for a long time now. So we're in the end times with those major prophecies coming up, you know, before the missiles start getting thrown up into the air.
Yeah, we had, you know, like the Third World War, really, like with this, what they call the Cold War. That shit was popping more or less immediately after. As soon as they got them scientists from Germany and started developing that nuclear technology, that basically was the building blocks for the Third World War. Because it's what, you know, you might as well get Isaiah 9 and what is it, 9 and maybe 14? Either 10 or 14.
10. That was the warrior?
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay.
This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But
yeah, so you the wars we've had up until this point even included, said what, the second war, that it may have ended in like in Japan with them dropping the 2 nukes, well, the 2 A-bombs, but the chief part of that shit went on for like 6 years. The bulk of it was done with them gunshot wounds, man. You had a lot of guys even surviving the what do you call it, the A-bomb as well. They got blown up, but then they survived. And then, you know, but you see the description, like, for example, in Zechariah, their tongue shall melt away in their mouth, the eyes going to melt away in their face. That's a different kind of destruction, man. So it's like, you know, the A-bomb was still work in progress, but then you got the thermonuclears, where that's a whole different level of destruction. Go on.
It says, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Yeah, burning and fuel of fire. So that's basically the principal thing that's going to define this Third World War. All the other wars, it's been, you know, guys with swords, bows and arrows, spears, chariots, elephants, all kinds of different war machines and methods of killing. But that was, you know, with you know, man all up in the face, and knifing each other out, even with the guns and that. You still, other than like snipers and that, and drones and airstrikes, you still have, even that's like still just like person on person. But it's like, hey, this is just gonna be burning a fuel of fire, just enough man to burn. So hey, that's showing it's a whole different kind of war, and that's what we're seeing develop in the Middle East, man. Let me read this, because you know, if you've been paying attention to any kind of news, you already know that Middle East is getting extremely hot, and that's beautiful. We say Barak Yahweh Hashem Yahshai whenever we see these things coming out, because like, yo, it's showing us, hey, this is what it is, man. So that time, we're getting ready to get out of here, man. So that's why it's, yo, we just got to blaze this place harder, man. I got this on RT. It says 28 Israeli jets fired about 60 rockets in overnight strikes on Syria. It says some 28 Israeli aircraft fired around 60 air-to-surface missiles in a massive overnight strike in Syria, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. Syria air defense systems managed to intercept more than half of the missiles. A total of 70 projectiles, including 60 air-to-surface missiles and more than 10 surface-to-surface missiles, hit Iranian military targets and Syrian air defense systems near Damascus in the south of the country. So you got strikes going on, basically missiles just getting lobbed. And these guys are basically saying it's like, oh yeah, they're Iran's meant to have just, you know, fired missiles on the Golan Heights. They're meant to have tried to blow up the Golan Heights. But even then, they're saying like, oh, it didn't really do no damage. But then they just justifying that. And the thing is, this came just after, like literally within a matter of hours, Trump said, oh, we're pulling out of the deal. Then instantly just, oh, Iran's meant to just gone and blown them up. But then it's like all the other countries in on the deal have said like, well, okay, we're still looking to get the deal done. And then like, okay, Iran's just going to go and start blowing these guys up. So Israel can just go and just do retaliatory strikes. That's a setup, man. It sounds like a setup. And that's like this Edomite, this devil, especially these so-called Jews, they get down, man. Because they deal with them false flags. That's what the Holocaust, man. That's the biggest false flag on the planet Earth. You got something?
Yeah. This is Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 20. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them.
Yeah, that least of the flock. That's talking about these guys. These guys calling themselves Jews in the land of Yisrael. These guys are, but they're basically the guys that are going to instigate this, and it's been like that for the longest, man. These guys are basically like, they've been the main antagonist against Iran. They've been basically trying to get America to blow up Iran for the longest. Old Beezy, when old Greasy was in office, he wasn't really doing it. Like, he was just trying to piece the thing off. But then even Ahmadinejad, when he was about, he was blazing flames on the great Satan. But you know, like, Trump's coming now, and Trump's just, that's an irrational fuck, man. He's just like, yeah, these Iranians, I can see definitely, they're definitely trying to develop nuclear weapons. We cannot allow this to happen. This guy is because he's such a stupid fuck. That's why they can just make him do whatever. And as you can see, this is just gonna. The thing is Iran basically said, yo, if the deal don't work out, we'll just do what we're doing. So hey, that's beautiful. That is, you know, then that's just gonna cause further escalation, further war. People can be saying, oh, it's not a war, you know, it's just there was a strike, and this really, man, are at war. You're doing airstrike. You're blowing, bro. What? How are you gonna fucking shoot missiles onto a guy's land, blow up his military bases, and you're not at war? Let me read this. It says, the Syrian air defense system shot down more than half of the rockets as they repelled the Israeli attacks. Israeli forces bombed the Syrian territory for 2 hours between 1:45. Man were bombing the thing for 2 straight hours on Thursday. The attack was carried out under the pretext of allegations that Iranian forces had earlier hit Israeli targets in the Golan Heights. The damage inflicted on Iranian military and Syrian civilian infrastructure is being evaluated. Earlier, the IDF said that all its aircraft had safely returned after one of its most extensive attacks in years. Tel Aviv claimed it was carried out in retaliation of 20 rockets launched at Israeli targets in Golan Heights by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps Quds Force. 4 of them were intercepted by the Iron Dome, the rest landed in Syrian territory, the IDF said. So, you know, man are meant to be struck. The thing is, even if you're using false flags to strike, it's like with Pearl Harbor. That can still lead to getting involved in the war. So, don't really matter whether it's false flag or not. That's just, hey, that's showing escalation there. That's showing prophecies being fulfilled, man.
Yeah, they did the same thing with 9/11.
Yeah, 9/11, innit? Fucking 9/11, bro. You got that? If you know what, get what was it?
Luke.
Yeah.
Okay. This is Luke chapter 21, verse 7. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be, and what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? And he said, Take heed.
You know, man were basically asking like when the time of the end is, like when the Lord's basically gonna give the rulership's gonna pass to Israel.
And he said, Take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them.
Yeah, you got a lot of guys bringing in some false Christs, man, some damnable heresies getting brought in, man. Because more or less them, it's like, even if you got these guys claiming to call themselves Israelites, and then they're basically trying to deal with some Buki doctrine, you know, the Vatican is is the beast, or you know, trying to doing some suspect left field breakdowns. That's bringing another Yahweh Shai basically, because that's, hey man, you're not dealing with the real man. It says what in John 7:38, if you believe upon me as the scriptures have said.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you got to believe on what he said, because he's hey man, the true breakdown of what the beast. That's talking about America. So if you're gonna be taking the breakdowns and flipping them turning them into a scrambled eggs, then that's you're not dealing with Yahweh Shai as the scriptures have said, man.
Right.
But go on.
It says, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by.
Yeah, so it's like with the wars and rumors of wars, that's what we're saying, like World War III popping off. Said what? The end is not yet. So it's like, you know, we're seeing the prophecies coming to pass, but hey, there's still other prophecies got to pass, man. Like, you know, RFID, and you know, read on. It's gonna go into it.
Okay. It says, then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom.
Yeah, and we'll sit with that we're seeing as well. So you know,
and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful.
We're seeing all those things, man. Earthquakes. We got earthquakes in the UK. You got famines, pestilences. That's in Dunban popping off, man. All over the show, man. Even Venezuela, like that dropped out of the news. But them guys are still fucked. They still ain't eating. Them guys were eating garbage like 6 months, a year ago. No, like a year ago they were eating garbage. What are they doing now? Gonna be chopping up prisoners, chopping the leg off, cooking up the leg. They're all messed up. Them guys are meant to be a problem. Too many of them guys going into Brazil. It's fucking up Brazil. Brazil's like economy. So that's you know, the Lord's got things popping off. Hey man, enough prophecies are going.
It says, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven.
Yeah.
But before
we had like, you know, the blue moon, and at once in a blue moon's an actual saying, and we've had the blue moon. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, blood moons, all that.
Was it last year where there was 3 blood moons? Was it this?
I think it was last year.
Yeah.
It was 3 blood moons in the course of a year, and a blue moon. Yeah. So that means that's all kinds of signs in heaven, man. So chariots.
But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake.
Yeah, so that needs to come to pass as well, man. The hour temptation, the persecution, man. So that's, hey man, that's why there's still ways to go as far as things to experience, man. Because that hour of temptation, that's going to be hot as well, man. Basically, yeah, us being just out there and having to have faith in the Lord. And that's why it's like, yo, that's all. A lot of these guys you got on the comment boards, a lot of these guys are basically trying to attain, like they're trying to bring out super breakdowns and put themselves in a super level. Brother, are you really prepared for like them persecutions, man? Because like yo, it said we're gonna be thrown in jails, we're gonna be brought before, you know, the elites of this society, all these guys. Hey man, that means that it's gonna get hot. They're gonna be forcing that shit. They say, yo, you take this, and you get your head chopped off. Might be waterboarding. You do all kinds of shit, man.
Oh, that's what Yahweh Shai said when the 2 brothers that their mother asked if they could, the disciples, if they could be on the right hand and the left hand. And they said, can you drink the cup, you know, of that,
yeah,
you know.
There's
Can you keep reading that?
yeah, I think so.
Okay. It says, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what you shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, with which all of your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist.
So yeah, that's it. It's the Lord, basically, it's like, hey man, you gotta be in the scriptures. You gotta have faith in the Lord, man, because faith is essential to it as well. You gotta basically have the capabilities to be able to endure what's coming, man. Because let me read this, man. Sirach 2:1. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away. that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So that's what we're, that's what we're meditating on going through, man. Because, hey, there's that RFID, that thing's is still out there, man. Like, that's something a lot of guys like to. Thing is like, even the World War III, a lot of guys like to ignore what's they'll say, okay, yeah, we're going to get the kingdom. But then you got guys that are talking about the kingdom, but they're not talking about how we're going to get that, man. You go to what? Daniel 7:18 says, what, the saints shall take the kingdom. So that's going to be taken. That means that hey, man, that means there's going to be a war, right? When was anything ever not taken by conquest? Every kingdom was taken by conquest. So that means you're not really. That means you're bringing in another Yahushua, man. If you're basically just trying to say, just Israelite customs and this, you've got to be Israel, Hebrew now, brother. You got to be getting into the prophecies. That's another key aspect. Okay. But let me, read. Did you have a precept?
Yeah, it's a quick one.
Go on.
It's Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Okay, man. And so it's these prophecies are going to be coming to pass, and it's the things that we've learned and the things that we hold fast. The things that are going to keep you strong in this, man. Starting with the name of the Lord, because a lot of these guys don't have the name of the Lord, so they're going to get caught out there, man. They ain't going to be able to call upon Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man, because they ain't been given the faith. So it's these core things that are going to keep us, to bring us onto salvation, Lord's will.
Okay. Yeah, them fundamental building blocks, man, them basics. Because, hey, a lot of things are it's like even knowing Yahushua's description. That's something that's like, you get people every week, you be out on the street, guys coming every week, like, okay, why you got that image though? That's something that, like, you actually, imagine before you even knew the truth, you needed a guy there to break down, this is what the Bible says. Then you're there, fam. You're thinking he's a white guy. Then you find out, fam. That means, but then that was deep then. Then you're hearing that, you're like, fam. You're beyond, like, even the levels of the average motherfucker on the street. So that's, hey man, that means rather than trying to get in some super ultimate wisdoms, you gotta firm up them basics as well, man. Because it's like, hey, not everyone's gonna be on the level of the apostles, man. Everyone's got their lot, man. You got different tiers of captains. Everything's in order, man. You go in nature, you don't see a fucking giraffe eating a lion. That's completely out of order.
Got a precept.
Go on.
This is
go Revelation 14 after.
This is Acts chapter 8, verse 30. And Philip ran thither to him, and heard him read the prophet Isaiah, and said, Understandest thou what thou readest? And he said, How can I, except some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. And hey, that's what we desire. We desire to get these breakdowns, but it's done in order, done through the apostles and the elders of GreatMillStone. They're the ones that are breaking it down for the rest of the flock. And anything outside of that, because the Lord's dealing with the apostles, anything outside of that, Lord ain't dealing with that.
Yeah, straight, man. Thing is, you might be trying to, you're trying to puff yourself up, but then, bruv, you were taught that. You weren't walking around and then you just, it zapped in your brain. Oh, Yahushua is black, and his name's Yahushua. No, you got them informations. You watched the video, you tuned in to the YouTube channels, and you got it broken down to you, man, like a baby. That's what happened to all of us. So that's why it's a thing where you can't, how are you going to try and pretend that never happened, man?
Mm-hmm.
That's some BS. Go on.
Right, this is Revelation chapter 14, verse 7. Saying with a loud voice, Fear Yahweh, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters. And
that's it. That's what you meant to worship the Most High, man, and his Son. Because that's, hey man, that's this through somewhere, even getting the kingdom. It's like, yo, Yahweh basically made everything. He even made your ass, and he's gonna give you that such a reward, man. That's like, hey man, right now the thing is like everything we're going through right now, we've earned. So it's like for you to even receive a relief from that, hey man, that's beautiful. Just like even brother was saying like last week, Rakai was saying like to suffer like for the kingdom for eternity, like to suffer for 1,000 years, 10,000 years, 1,000,000 years. Really, what's that in the face of eternity? You could do 1,000,000 years of hardcore bondage. You're like, oh. Then after that first year, you ain't even remember none of them years. After that first year, you're just there LVing out.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be loving it up, man. So it's, you know, that's why it's like you can't just be, you know, you gotta give honor and praises to the Father and the Son, man. Because hey, man, through them, that's the only way we're getting anything, man.
Oh, I've got a preset.
Go for it.
This is John chapter 3 verse 5. Yahushua answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. Actually, that wasn't what I was looking for still. Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah, since except, that wasn't what I was looking for still. But the scriptures say that not, we receive it. Not, a man can't do anything unless he receive it from heaven. You know, that's what I was looking for. Don't know what that is exactly. I'm sure it was in John 3. I can't find it still.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Jump back on
Revelation. Right, verse 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's the madness you got going out, man. I was on a bus, I saw a fucking newspaper lying there, open, and then like the page just happened to be on was talking about the gender pay gap, all that kind of shit, the battle of the sexes. That's BS, man. Because it's like that's an indoctrination. Because women really gender pay gap. Women shouldn't even be out of the house, man. We should be in the house baking cookies and looking after the youth them, making sure that when you get back, like your socks are fucking extra fluffy and shit, man. That's, you know, keeping it 100% fucking real. So that's why it's like all you got going on here is just like a hot mess poured on top of a hot mess, like sprinkled with extra hot mess on top, man. Everything's all confused, everything's out of course, and that's what people are glorifying as, you know, the ultimate kingdom.
Can you read it?
Yeah, go on.
Right, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be
that's it. That's It said, "What anyone that worships the image of the beast, or receives his mark, man." So it's like the thing is you got pretty much everyone out here worshipping that image, man. The everything that America represents, that the West represents, this so-called white man represents. These guys are all worshipping that, man. That do as thou wilt spirit, which is like based on is the fundamental basis of Esau's witchcraft. That's the mantra everyone lives by, man. YOLO. Guys going out, well, just do it, well, you can do everything once. A guy will take a dick up his ass once. Just because, you know, well, I'm up for it, I might as well just try it, you know. I'm gonna suck a dick once or some shit. Or eat a bitch's asshole out. That's all kinds of off. That's how completely batshit crazy everything's got out here. You got a guy just like, well, you know what, I'll just try it. You know, I ain't gay in that. Fucking hell, there's one of them sayings where it's like, yeah. Fucking mad, bruv. But he said, what, received the mark, man. So that mark, that RFID, that's, you know, that's prevalent. That's been coming out again and again, man. You're seeing it pop up everywhere. And it's evident as well that it's the mark as well, because it's like you got even innocent bystanders, innocent civilians are basically out there able to identify, saying, you know, they're calling it the mark of the beast. Let me read this on Gizmodo. It says, I spent a weekend with cyborgs and now I have an RFID implant I have no idea what to do with. So that's how, like, bugged out people are. They're just going to, you know, now it's just for you to, like, oh, you know, fun. Just, chip, technology, great. That's how bugged these people are. Esau's got them chipping themselves. They're doing the job for him, and he ain't even made it mandatory yet. But that mandatory chip, that's an essential part. Well, let me read a bit of this, man.
After I give that account.
Let me read this first then. Oh, well, go on.
Yeah, I work in basically a well-known financial institution, and I spoke to one person that works in the department for digital innovation and kind of the future of. They look into the future of how they can move things digitally, and I was just finding out some information, and I spoke to them a bit about biohacking and anything to do with hacking of the body or implants and things like that, and biometrics. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, and that's and when I said that, the person I was speaking to, who's from that department, their face lit up, and they were talking about one guy that works in the department that's got the RFID in his thumb, opening up all these doors, and how the CEO of the company, he's really into that. He wants to push that, basically. That's on their agenda. They want to look more and more into that, and they want to push that onto the people, basically.
Yeah, so that's one of the key ways they're going to do it, man. With that financial institutions and convenience, man. A lot of it's just going to be convenience. Just like with contactless on the phones, they've got contactless on the phones. You sign up the card on the phone. You don't even need your wallet anymore. You leave. Everywhere fucking accepts contactless now. There's certain places where they don't even take cash. One place I went to buy a fucking donut. These guys didn't even have. They said, "Oh yeah, on no cash, only card payments." So that's how Esau's got it moving. He's pushing it through that monetary system, pushing it through the convenience, the health system as well. They got you get the chip and it will release certain, if you need certain drugs in your body, then the chip will release the drugs. That's how Esau's pushing it. But let me read this as well, because hey man, it's the chip, you're hearing about it everywhere. It said Tibbets doesn't view an RFID implant as I'll skip down a bit, as all that much different from a tattoo or a nose ring. People have been doing piercings for so long, he said, but the fact that we're using technology when we're doing this, people think of it as something different. It seems like, this is probably some dangerous thing, and these schmoes in the garage are cutting themselves or whatever. We actually do a lot of research and put more effort into it than the body modification community would. He said to the grinder, and the grinder is like what they use for them biohackers. It says, it seems obvious that instead of carrying wallets and keys and IDs and cell phones, we'll one day interface with the world via microchips implanted under our skin. And you can see Esau's trying to push that technology from every angle. They're even trying to do the brain interfacing, trying to download the nigga's consciousness into a computer, which they had in that movie Transcendence. And just everything, interacting with everything. That's how basically Esau's going to have you turn you into a cow. Just like now you got fucking cows that graze. You can chip them in the ear and then just put them on a hill and then you never lose him. Or your dog, like Fido getting chipped. That's how Esau's looking at people getting chipped, man. He's going to have, because he calls them Goyim, man, cattle. So he's going to treat them in the same way. And it said, such ideas are not always welcomed warmly. For many of us, our smartphones may well be attached to our bodies, but there is something about moving technology past the barrier of the skin that gives people the heebie-jeebies. There's a lot of things that you don't want to fucking put in your skin, man.
Yeah.
The hell you want to put your fucking cell phone underneath you? That don't make no goddamn sense. So there's a lot of things you could like. I don't want a basketball fucking implant onto your skin. But it's just like, it's some bullshit argument. It says, Once when the news of Grindfest made its way to the local Facebook circles, Tehachapi, or however the fuck that's pronounced, residents expressed mild outrage. Some have suggested that microchips could even be the mark of the beast. So even in some unknown article in Gizmodo, some nobody, even she knows what the mark is. So, you got guys calling themselves Israelites messing around. But then even she knows what the mark is. So that's how you know it's getting out there. And the reason it's getting out there like that is because the apostles have been blazing it for the longest, man. Because from when the apostles are blazing, you see guys popping up everywhere. All of a sudden, they've got all these epic breakdowns coming out. That's because everyone knows exactly where that info's coming from, man. Basically, the spirits and the book was unsealed.
Yeah.
That's how it was. You know, you might as well finish on Revelation and go to Daniel's, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, some Revelation.
The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
That's it, man. That's going to be zapped up, vaporized for us in front of Yahweh when the time for judgment comes, man. Because that's pretty much what what the judgment is. Because you got a lot of guys out here, them guys gonna be grabbing up, screaming. A lot of these black women with their youth, them are gonna be screaming these benefits. Black hookers, crusty black hookers are gonna be running to them. A lot of these ones that are shacking up with them white dudes will be running to that shit because they're already basically sold out, man. Said what if you worship the beast in his image? That means all the ways of this place, man. And a lot of people do worship the ways of this place. They're all up in this place trying to basically attain everything that Esau's put out here. You got Revelation 5?
Okay. This is Revelation 5 chapter, I'll start from 4.
You can start from the top.
Alright, I'll start from the top, chapter 5. And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the backside, sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof? And no man in heaven nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders saith unto me, Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
So you know, the lion of the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. You know, Yahushua basically was the one that was worthy to open the book. So that's why it's like, if the spirit of Yahushua is dealing with you, that's why you can get the breakdowns, man. But them guys who the spirit's not dealing with, you can evidently see they ain't got the full understanding. That's why these wacky Christians, you got these wacky Christians like, you don't have the love of Jesus in you. You don't have. This guy can't break down a single prophecy. Then he's like, you don't have the love of Jesus in your heart. That has got. What has that got to do with the Bible, man? That's why these guys are a bunch of renegade rebels, man. The Lord ain't dealing with them. They ain't talking about some rapture. A bunch of white people getting beamed up. Give me a break. Give me a break. Into the nimbus clouds, man. Cumulo nimbus, bruv. Give me a break. Go on.
That's it, really, isn't it?
Brother, you can keep reading.
Keep reading, yeah? Come. Alright, this is verse 6. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent forth into all the earth. And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odours, which are the prayers of the saints. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book, and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to God by the blood out of every kindred, and tongue, and people, and nation.
Out of every. But yeah, it's like, that's that new song, man. That new song is basically the way that we've been redeemed to Yahweh. Like, so, hey, that's a beautiful thing. And it's like, Yahushua was the one that was worthy, because he actually went up on a cross, he went through all the trials in the flesh. So, you know, he proved he was the one that was worthy. And there was something else that was in there. Okay, go on, keep reading.
Right? And has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
Yeah, and we shall reign on the earth. So it's like, yo, that's, you know, man, they're talking about some kingdom in heaven. You're going to be stepping on a cloud,
Yeah.
and the cloud's going to become solid. But there's meant to be streets paved with gold.
That's what these Jehovah's Witnesses were saying, man. I was talking to them before I went to work, and they were like saying, yeah, the 144,000 are going to rule in heaven, and then the rest are going to rule on earth. And I'm just like, you guys are free, man. You guys are free, man.
It's sealed onto them, man.
Yeah.
You know, get Daniel 12 then, because we can end it on that. On how did you have a precept?
No.
On how the book them sealed, because the book's sealed to them, man. They're basically trying to go in there. Hey, that's why we're able to go into. We see what's going on in the Middle East. We see like what's coming out about its RFID. You know, we see these prophecies are getting pieced together through the Spirit.
Let's read from the top.
Yeah, go on.
And this is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1.
As well.
And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time.
Yeah, that time of trouble, man. And that's, you know, you go to these guys are talking about you know, stepping on the clouds and putting their crusty sandal on the cloud and ruling in heaven. But these guys don't know. It says what? There's going to be a time of trouble. These guys don't know a damn thing about that. These guys don't know about, you know, nation rise against nation. It's like, what? You know, they can't piece together. They don't know who Ezekiel 38 is talking about. They don't know what Revelation chapter 9 is talking about. They don't know nothing. But then these guys, you know, are meant to have the supreme breakdowns. Man, having a joke. Go on.
Such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book.
Yeah, one's written in the book, man. Those who are basically who received the word, man. God, the knowledges. Go on.
And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. Yeah. But thou, O Daniel, shall...
So that's that eternal glory, man. That's amazing, because it's like, you know, you can go guys out here, you go back to the 70s, you had guys during the 70s, they were, you would have thought those ultimate legendary characters, then now they unheard of, man. The shit's getting sampled, no one even knows it's a sample. Yeah,
but thou, O Daniel, sharp the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
That's it, man. Sharp the book and seal it, even unto the time of the end. And you know, it's only those that are down with the spirit of the Lamb, because the Lamb, Yahushua unsealed the book. So then you have the spirit of Yahushua, man. Yeah. It says what the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy, man.
Yeah. And it says that there's those that follow the Lamb wheresoever he goeth.
Yeah, rather than you saying, oh, what the lambs are black? No, he ain't black. No, it's some white guy. No, we don't know what he looked like. He was see-through. He had a green chest. Do you remember that guy, bro? You know, you got something, though. You just can end it there.
No, that's it. Yeah.
Cool. Alright, man. So, you know, we're in that time, you know. Say all praise to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Hashem, Shalom.